Are you thinking about selling your home this year? You need to be interviewing more than one agent. Statistics show that most sellers hire the first agent that they talk to. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times that's not going to be your best choice. You need to talk to 2 or 3 different agents. You need to see who you click with. But I'm going to give you 5 questions that you need to ask each of the realtors that you're talking to. Question number 1, what's your experience in this market? We are in Hamblen County in Morristown. And what we are seeing right now is a lot of sellers are hiring companies that are either from Knoxville, the Tri-Cities, maybe Greenville, and those agents don't have the experience in our market. And you think, oh, well, it's just Knoxville. I mean, like, it's not that far. It's not that big a deal. The Knoxville market is completely different than the Hamblen County market. The Tri-Cities market is completely different than the Hamblen County market. So if you're talking to an agent who is out of another county and they're an hour away, you need to find out how specifically have they worked in this market. How many homes have they listed? How many homes have they sold in your county? Number 2 is, how will you market my property? And I'm going to tell you, we have a lot of agents who came into the business since 2020. And in 2020, 2021, first part of 2022, you didn't have to market a property. You took the pictures, you put it on the MLS, and the offers just came down like manna from heaven. We're not in that market anymore. We're still getting homes sold every day, but buyers are more picky, and they're not going to sell in 48 hours like they did. So you've got to have a marketing plan. You've got to know what that agent is going to do to put your home out there, to get it in front of as many buyers as possible, to help you find that perfect buyer for your home. So if you ask an agent, how do you plan on marketing my property? And they get that deer in the headlight look, or they start stuttering and stammering, that probably means they don't have a marketing plan. Make sure you find out what it is. Number 3, can you provide testimonials? Now, as I stated before, a lot of my clients come to me off of Google, or they've been referred to me from a friend, but I'm going to tell you, most sellers now do their research before that agent comes to their home. A lot of times when I go out on a listing appointment, I have a folder that I take, and it's going to be things you need to do to get your home ready to sell. It's going to include how I've performed in the past few years as far as achievements, awards, my designations. And it's also going to have a page of testimonials. And I'm going to update that ever so often, because a testimonial from 5 years ago probably doesn't mean a whole lot to somebody looking to sell today. So if you've Googled the agent, you've looked them up online, maybe Zillow, maybe realtor.com, maybe Google, and you're not finding reviews for that agent, you need to ask them for testimonials. You need to see what their clients in the past have to say about them. Question number 4 is, what is your availability and preferred method of communication? A lot of agents want to say, oh, I'm available 24/7. Well, you know nobody's available 24/7. Everybody got to sleep sometime. Some people are phone communicators. Some people are texters. Some people are emailers. Now, me personally, if I have a seller who says, what's your preferred method of communication? I say it doesn't matter. What's yours? Because the way the seller wants to be communicated with is the way I'm going to handle it. Now, me personally, I'm a texter. I'm an emailer. That's because I'm on the phone so many times during the day. I don't like talking on the phone. But if I have a seller, and this happens all the time, I'll have a seller that's in their 70s or 80s. They can text, but they're like my poor little old mama, and it will take her 10 to 15 minutes to type out a 3-line text. If they say, I can text, but I'd really prefer if you've got something that you call me, we're going to call. We're going to have that conversation with them over the phone. When you're asking the agent, that's the best answer you can get, is it doesn't matter what my preferred method of communication is, what's yours? And I do tell my sellers, I'm raising my 4-year-old granddaughter. So if you're trying to get a hold of me after 5 p.m. or on Sundays, texting me is the best thing, and I'll call you when I can get away for just a minute and make that phone call. The last question is, what are your fees and contract terms? I've seen agents that wrote a year listing agreement on a house. And I'm going to tell you something. I've not yet seen a house in this market that I needed a year listing agreement on. Now, some of your $1 million properties, sure, I'm going to go for a 6-month listing agreement. When I first started selling real estate, you didn't do anything less than 6 months. And if it was a luxury type property, you would ask for a year. But in this market, things are completely different. Find out how long are you truly being tied up in a listing agreement, because you don't want to sign a year listing agreement and find out 2 or 3 months into it that your agent made a lot of promises that they can't keep. You also want to find out about fees, because some companies charge not only the commission, but they'll charge a transaction fee because their broker charges that to them as the agent, and they pass it on to the consumer. So find out what are the fees. Find out if you wanted to cancel the listing agreement, what kind of terms are attached to that. Now, I will tell you on mine personally, because I spend close to $600-700 on photography, video, and all that before we ever go live on a listing. If you cancel on me, I'm going to ask you to pay me that back, because you've not given me the time I need to make my investment back. There are caveats to that, but you need to know up front, if you want to cancel the listing with someone, what are going to be the repercussions of that, and what's that process look like. Make sure you're talking to 2 or 3 agents and keep that list handy so that you can interview them properly.